Good afternoon, students. In previous lecture, we have discussed about perfectly black body, then coefficient of absorption, coefficient of emission, coefficient of reflection, coefficient of transmission. Similarly, we have discussed about Fairy's black body also. Now, in this lecture, we will move forward. The next topic is nothing but emission of heat radiation. See, in 1792, the scientist Pyre, he published a theory of radiation, and that theory it is known as theory of exchange of heat. In this theory, he has taken all the bodies which are at having temperature above 0 degree Kelvin, or you can say the bodies which are having temperature more than absolute zero temperature. That bodies radiate thermal energy, and at the same time they absorb radiations which are received from the surrounding. We know that hot bodies they radiate higher radiations as compared to cold body. Also, you have heard that light colored bodies they reflect most of visible radiations, whereas dark color bodies absorb most of the incident visible radiations. You must have heard that in summer season we have to wear light colored cloths. Why? Because they reflect most of the visible radiations. And similarly, we have heard that in winter season we have to wear dark colored clothes. Why? Because they absorb most of the incident visible radiations. Also, we know that the body which absorb radiation, it increases the kinetic energy of that constituent atoms which are oscillating about their mean position. See, we know that body it is made up of large number of atoms. Inside that body, that atoms they are in motion. That means they are oscillating about their mean position, and as they are in motion, they are having kinetic energy. So when the radiations are absorbed by that body, the kinetic energy of that constituent atoms it go on increasing. Also, we know that the average translational kinetic energy it determines the temperature of that body. The absorbed radiation as it increases, the temperature of body it also go on increasing. The body itself radiate, so that's why there is a decrease in temperature of the body. And similarly, if the body it radiates more radiations than it absorb, its temperature also decreases. Then what is thermal equilibrium? See, when the rate of absorption of radiation is same as that of the rate of emission of radiation, the temperature of body it remains constant, and then we say that the body is in thermal equilibrium. Also, the bodies whose temperature above this absolute zero temperature they radiates electromagnetic radiation. Now this amount of radiations or the amount of heat which is radiated by the body it depends on which factors. The first factor is nothing but the absolute temperature of the body. We have just now seen that hot bodies emit large number of radiations, right? Because the temperature of hot body it is more. So it is dependent on what? Absolute temperature. The second thing it depends on what? Nature of that body. Nature means what? The material of that body. Similarly, the surface that is which is surface of that body it is polished or not. It depends on that factor also. The third is nothing but the surface area of that body, and the fourth thing time duration for which that body it emits radiations. Okay, so this amount of heat which is radiated it is denoted by Q, and it is directly proportional to the surface area as well as it is directly proportional to the time duration. So that is Q. Over here it is proportionality sign is there, so Q is proportional to AT. So to remove that proportionality sign, we have to add one constant, and that constant is nothing but R. And that R is nothing but emissive power, or you can say radiant power of that body. So we say that Q is equals to RAT. So R is equals to what? Q upon AT. So how you can define this emissive power then? The emissive power of black body is nothing but It is defined as the amount of heat radiated by the body per unit area per unit time. So the dimension of emissive power is L0 m1 T raised to minus 3. And the SI unit of emissive power is joule per meter square second, or you can say watt per meter square. The next point is coefficient of emission, or you can say emissivity. What is that coefficient of emission, or the emissivity is nothing but it is a ratio of emissive power of ordinary body. See over here, we have taken capital R, that is the emissive power of ordinary body, and capital R suffix B, it denotes the emissive power of perfectly black body. Okay, so then what is the coefficient of emission? It is the ratio of emissive power of ordinary body to the emissive power of perfectly black body at the same temperature. Okay, so therefore we say that E is equals to R upon RB. So for perfectly black body, we have the value for E is nothing but is equals to 1. For perfect reflector, E must be equal to 0. And for ordinary body, the value of E lies between 0 to 1. See, we know that good absorber is a good emitter of heat. This is important for your MCQ purpose. The next point is Kirchhoff's law of heat radiation and its theoretical proof. So what is the Kirchhoff's law? See, the Kirchhoff's law of radiation, it states that the coefficient of absorption of body is equal to its coefficient of emission at a given temperature. So we have already studied coefficient of absorption. So according to Kirchhoff's law, the coefficient of absorption, that is small a, it must be equal to coefficient of emission, that is small e. Now here we have to imagine a large enclosed space which is thermally isolated from surrounding, that is called as enclosure and it is called as uniform temperature enclosure. Suppose that the ordinary body we have taken over here, that is capital A is nothing but ordinary body and capital B is nothing but the perfectly black body. So here we have taken two bodies, ordinary body and perfectly black body. Both are having same temperature, same surface area, and they are placed in a uniform temperature enclosure. Okay. So let capital R is the emissive power of body A, that is ordinary body. RB is the emissive power of perfectly black body. Small a coefficient of absorption of the body. Q is the quantity of radiant heat incident on each body in unit time. And Q suffix A is quantity of radiant heat absorbed by the body A. So then we know that Q suffix A must be equal to A into Q. So Q suffix A is nothing but what? Amount of heat absorbed by the ordinary body. And it is equals to what? Small a into Q. Small a is the coefficient of absorption. Q is nothing but the amount of heat incident on the body. You have studied coefficient of absorption, and that is what? It is the ratio of amount of heat absorbed per unit, or you can say it is a ratio of amount of heat absorbed to the amount of heat incident on the body, that is QA upon Q. So QA is equals to A into Q. Now as the temperature of body A, ordinary body, and black body B, they remain the same, both must emit same amount as they absorb in unit time. So here we will get the quantity of heat absorbed by body A must be equal to quantity of heat emitted by the body. So we say that A into Q is equals to what? Capital R. A is coefficient of absorption into Q. This is what? Amount of heat absorbed by the body A. And amount of heat radiated, that is equals to capital R. For perfectly black body, Q must be equal to RB. Okay, Q is what? Amount of heat absorbed by the black body. RB is amount of heat emitted by the black body. That is emissive power of your black body. Now divide equation 1 by 2. We will get A is equals to R upon RB. Or if you rearrange the term, you will get R upon RB, R upon A is equals to RB. But we know that R upon RB is nothing but what? Coefficient of emission, right? Okay. So we'll substitute this R upon RB is equals to E over here. You will get A is equals to E. So therefore, this is nothing but what? Kirchhoff's law. It is theoretically proved. That is, coefficient of absorption is equals to coefficient of emission. The next point, applications of this Kirchhoff's law. See, the first application, it is the current distribution in various branches of circuit can easily found by applying Kirchhoff's current law at different junctions, points and the nodes in the circuit. When we supply current into the circuit, see that circuit, it is made up of various branches. There will be various junctions. So how at the junction the current gets divided, that can be explained by this Kirchhoff's law. Kirchhoff's law is also useful to understand how current and voltage works within a circuit. They can also be used to analyze complex circuits that can't be reduced to one equivalent resistance using what you already know about series and parallel resistors. The next point is spectral distribution of blackbody radiation. See here, over here you will find a graph of power density, or here it is the radiant power versus wavelength. And here they have given one sentence. As temperature increases, the radiant energy, that means power, increases and wavelength decreases. So that's why the curve is the nature of curve is like this. What happens? Temperature increases, power density, or you can say radiant power, it is increases, but the wavelength of light, it decreases. Wavelength of radiations, it is decreases, and that is nothing but the Wien's displacement law. Here also you will understood the nature of that graph. Here you will find that there will be four curves, and they are that four curves, they are having a specific temperatures. Okay, so you will find as temperature increases, the nature of curve it go on changing. Okay, so as temperature increases, the peak wavelength emitted by the black body, it decreases. Peak wavelength, that means, see, as the temperature increases, the curve or the peak of curve, it shifted towards the left. So this peak value of peak, it go on decreasing. Okay, also as the temperature increases, the total energy which is emitted increases, because the total area under the curve increases. See, energy, how you can find the area under the curve, it gives us energy which is emitted. So as you will find, as temperature increases, the area of that peak or area of curve will also go on increasing, and the area under that curve, it represents what? Energy, total energy which is emitted. Okay, so it also go on increasing. Also the curve, it gets infinitely close to the x-axis, but it never touches it. Here you will find at the end it reaches to the x-axis, but if you see clearly, no single line is meeting to the x-axis, right? So the curve, it is close to the x-axis, but it never touches the x-axis. Okay, so the study of spectrum of black body radiation in terms of wavelength, it is carried out by the scientists Lummer and Pringshin. And what they have did, they maintain that black body at different temperatures. So they kept source at different fixed temperatures and measure the intensity of incident radiation, which is corresponding to different wavelength. And the measurement were represented graphically in the form of curves, which is shown over here. Okay, the measurement were represented graphically, and the variation of intensity of radiation, that is power density with wavelength and different constant temperature, it is as shown in this curve. Okay, so what they have found, or what is the observation they have made? First observation is that the intensity of radiation emitted, it increases with increase of wavelength. As soon as the intensity increases, as soon as the wavelength increases, you will find the intensity of radiation, it also increases. See over here, the value of peak increases. So as wavelength increases, the peak it also increases. Second thing, for particular wavelength lambda max, the intensity of radiation which is emitted is maximum, and then it decreases with further increase in wavelength. See over here, as for example, we will consider the temperature 2000 Kelvin. You will find that as wavelength increases, the power density it also increases, and at certain point it becomes maximum. So this point over here, this point where the power density is maximum, that point and the wavelength corresponding to that point, it is known and denoted as lambda max. Okay, it does not mean that the for this particular maximum power, the value of lambda it is maximum. It does not mean it like that. Lambda max is the value of wavelength for which the power which is radiated it is maximum, but the wavelength is not maximum, because see, after that again wavelength increases but the power decreases. Okay, the next is area under the curve. Just now we have seen it represents the energy emitted per second per unit area. So as soon as just now we have seen, as the temperature increases, the area under the curve it increases. Means what? The energy emitted per unit area per unit time is it also increases. When the temperature of black body is increased, see the energy distribution curve it continues to be non-uniform. See that curve it shifted towards the left side, and that peak also it gets bent towards the left, so that curve is not uniform curve, right? Similarly, the peak of curve shift towards the left, it means the temperature increases and the value of lambda max it decreases. At higher temperature, the total energy emitted per unit area per unit time it corresponds to all wavelength which is increases. Okay, the next is Planck's idea of quantization of energy. See, the Planck is the scientist. He has considered the atom of wall of cavity as a tiny electromagnetic oscillator with characteristic frequency, and that exchange the energy with the cavity, and this energy is given by E is equals to NH nu. Okay, where N is what? Positive integer values. H is the universal constant whose value is 6.626 into 10 raised to minus 34 joules second, and nu is nothing but what? Frequency of oscillator. Okay, and the next is Wien's displacement law. What this law says, the wavelength for which the emissive power of black body is maximum is inversely proportional to the what? Absolute temperature of the body. That means lambda max is inversely proportional to capital T. So if you remove that proportionality sign, we will add a constant whose value is 1. So we directly write lambda max is equal to 1 upon T. So therefore we say that lambda max into T is equals to what? B. Over here we have to write constant, that is nothing but lambda max is equal to B upon T. So we have to make correction over here. Here B is there. So lambda max is B upon T. So therefore we say that lambda max into T is equal to what? B. So what is that B? B is nothing but Wien's constant, and its value is 2.897 into 10 raised to minus 3 millikelvin. Okay, and lambda max is what? The wavelength at which emissive power of black body is maximum. Okay, lambda max means not maximum wavelength. Lambda max is the particular value of wavelength at which emissive power of black body is maximum. Okay, just make over here some correction, that is lambda max is equal to B upon T. We have taken a constant as a small b. So lambda max is into T is equal to what? Small b. That is Wien's constant. See, we know that white dwarfs are hot stars with surface temperature nearly 10,000 degree Kelvin, and the red giants are cooler corresponding to surface temperature nearly 3,000 degree. What is that white dwarfs and red stars? See, when stars fuse helium into larger atom, they become red giants. Now in a red giant, what happens? The inner helium core contracts while the outer layer of hydrogen it expands. When the helium is gone, that star it again becomes white dwarfs. Over here, the image is shown over here. The Wind's displacement law is useful to determine temperatures of distant stars, sun, moon, etc. This law is also called as displacement law because as temperature increases, what happens? The maximum intensity of radiation, that is lambda max, emitted by it gets shifted or it displays towards the shorter wavelength side. That means it displays towards the mean of x-axis, right? The next is Stefan-Boltzmann law of radiation. What is that Stephen's law? The amount of radiant energy emitted per unit time per unit surface area of perfectly black body is directly proportional to what? Fourth power of its absolute temperature. Okay. So here we have taken Q as amount of radiant energy emitted by perfectly black body. Capital A, area of perfectly black body. Small t, time for which black body emits radiant energy. And capital T is nothing but absolute temperature of perfectly black body. So according to statement, that is amount of heat radiated per unit area per unit time is directly proportional to what? Fourth power of its absolute temperature, that is T raised to 4. Or we say that this Q upon 8 is nothing but what? Emissive power, right? So R is proportional to T raised to 4. Where Q upon 8 is R, that is emissive power of black body. So to remove this proportionality sign, we have to add one constant, that is nothing but sigma. And that sigma is called as Stephen's constant. So R is equal to sigma T raised to 4. So here sigma is Stephen's constant, and the value of sigma in SI system it is 5.67 into 10 raised to minus 8 joule per meter square second degree Kelvin raised to 4. Or we say that 5.67 into 10 raised to minus 8 watt per meter square degree Kelvin raised to 4. In CG system, we say that the value of sigma is 5.67 into 10 raised to minus 5 erg per centimeter square second degrees Celsius raised to 4. And the dimension of sigma it is m1 L0 t raised to minus 3 t k raised to minus 4. Now see, for a body which is not a perfectly black body, the energy which is radiated per unit area per unit time is still proportional to fourth power of its absolute temperature. But it is found that it is less than that for the black body. So we say that for ordinary body, R must be equal to E into sigma T raised to 4. Here, in case of ordinary body, we have just add a term that is small e, that is coefficient of emission, or you can say emissivity of that body. Now if capital T is the absolute temperature of perfectly black body and T0 be the lower absolute temperature, then we say that the energy which is radiated per unit time per unit area is nothing but what? Sigma T raised to 4. The energy which is absorbed from surrounding per unit time per unit area is nothing but sigma T0 raised to 4. Here T0 is the lower absolute temperature of surrounding. Okay. So then, therefore, the net loss of energy by perfectly black body per unit time per unit area is nothing but what? Sigma T raised to 4 minus sigma T0 raised to 4. Here we can take sigma common. So sigma inside bracket T raised to 4 minus T0 raised to 4. For ordinary body, the net loss of energy per unit area per unit time is nothing but E sigma T raised to 4 minus T0 raised to 4. See here, we have add only a term small e for ordinary body. So this is for perfectly black body, this is for ordinary body. The term is same, only we have to add, in case of ordinary body, we have to add coefficient of emission, that is emissivity, small e. Okay. Now if the body is at a temperature which is lower than the surrounding, we say that T less than T0. Then E sigma T0 raised to 4 minus T0 raised to 4 will be the net gain in thermal energy of the body per unit area per unit time. Since the loss or gain of energy per unit area per unit time is proportional to the fourth power of absolute temperature, So therefore we say that the as t less than t0, we say that E sigma t raised to 4 minus t0 raised to 4. This term will be what? The gain in thermal energy of body per unit area per unit time. Okay, thank you.